but we're going to go ahead and get started. So, business plans or plans of any kind, they can be invaluable in keeping your business on track throughout the year. Now, these plans should be living documents that you refer to often. They should also be adaptable and flexible to fit the ever changing needs of your business and the market that it's within. So just think of the many changes that you've had to make over the past couple of years. Now, there's not one set formula for business plans either. Business plans can take several different forms and have different purposes, from helping to plan out your year to charting a course for the next 5 years, or even helping you plan to expand your business. So, today we are going to focus on a simple approach to a 1 year business plan that is easy to follow and maintain throughout the year. Welcome, everyone. My name is Marlene Toby, and I'm here with my colleagues Annie Riley and Vanessa Lumen. We are very excited to be your facilitators for this presentation. First, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping items. We will be addressing all questions at the end of the presentation, so please hold on to your thoughts until then. Now, this session is being recorded in two different breakout rooms, both in English and in Spanish, to ensure accessibility for all participants. Now, you will be given an option to select your language preference as we open up the breakout rooms. Now, once we complete the separate breakout sessions, we will reconvene in this main room to address your questions as a group. Now, to help streamline this process, please post your questions in the chat once we gather back together. All right. So thank you for joining me. First, I'd like to provide a disclaimer. The information contained here has been prepared by Civitas Strategies and on behalf of the New Mexico Early Childhood Education and Care Department, WES, and Growing Up New Mexico, and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. The Civitas Strategies team has used reasonable efforts in collecting, preparing, and providing this information, but does not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, adequacy, or currency. The publication and distribution of this information is not intended to create and does receipt does not constitute an attorney-client or any other advisory relationship. Reproduction of this information is expressly prohibited. Only non-commercial uses of this work are permitted. Now, in today's presentation, we will discuss why you, as a childcare business, should have a business plan and what the plan should include. We will go over how you can assess your current needs as a childcare business. We'll also talk about the SWOT analysis, meaning strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and how these may exist in your business, and how the analysis can support your business in building a business plan. Lastly, we're going to go over potential goals for your childcare business and talk about the components that should be included in the goals to ensure that they are SMART goals. The acronym for SMART just basically stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Now, the business plan here is a slimmed down version that can be uh, easy to update, and you can use it year after year. It is designed to concisely communicate your goals, and it's driven by your current realities, similar to a roadmap. So it's best suited for family childcare providers or smaller centers, larger childcare businesses, or those that are opening a new location or a business. You will likely find that strategic planning is a more extensive business plan for you, and that may be more valuable. So, just like any other business venture, Every childcare center needs a comprehensive business plan. This vital document serves as your roadmap, clearly outlining what your childcare business aims to accomplish while guiding you through three essential phases, and that is the planning phase, preparation, and the operations phase. Now, running a childcare center is more than just caring for children. It's about creating a sustainable business that can continue serving families for years to come. Now, your business plan ensures that you're um, building on a solid foundation. Now, here's why this matters so much in our field. Many of you dream of expanding your services, whether that means adding more classrooms, opening a new location, or introducing innovative programs. Now, when that time comes, you'll likely need to secure funding through loans or maybe even grants. This is where your business plan becomes invaluable. It demonstrates to potential investors and lenders that you're not just passionate about childcare, you're also serious and you're a serious business owner with a clear vision and a strategy for success. Now, think of your business plan as both a mirror and a telescope. Now, as a mirror, it reflects where your business currently stands, your strengths, your resources, and your current operations. As a telescope, it shows where you're headed. That is in reference to your goals, growth strategies, and plans for long term sustainability. Now, this dual perspective is exactly what investors and lenders need to see to feel confident in supporting your vision. Now, in the development of your business plan, there are four components that we feel are necessary to include to get you started. First is the value proposition. Now, your value proposition is simply answering the question, why you? Your value proposition can be important because it reminds you of why children and families love you and your services. The next is assessment of your current situation. Now, take a comprehensive look at your business performance and feedback. This will help you to understand what your needs are and how you can prepare for the future. The next is a SWOT analysis, which is taking a deeper look at, again, the strengths, the opportunities, and the weaknesses and the threats in your business. Now, through the SWOT analysis, you will divide your data into four quadrants, um, whether a factor is positive or negative, and whether it's about the present or the future. And those are the four quadrants. We will show an example here in a little bit. And then the last is to use that information to build your plan. Now, doing the first three steps gives you an outline for what your plan will look like. All the information taken from these will include, they're going to be included in the plan, and it's going to give you and the investors a look at how you plan to operate and sustain your childcare business, which is very important. Now let's go step by step. Step one is to state your value proposition. Now, again, your value proposition is simply answering the question, why you? You can think about your past year and the feedback that you've received that demonstrates why families, let me go back. There we go. It demonstrates why families um, and children love your program. Now, if you have employees of any kind, you want to think about what you do to ensure that they remain happy and stay with your business, and how you attract new people as you need them. Now, your value proposition can be very important because it reminds you of why children and family love your services. It's important for you to keep in mind as the business owner, and use this to talk to your families. It provides a concise reminder of what you do in your business. Your value proposition also helps frame some of the important business decisions that you will make, such as how you set your rates, how you attract top talent, and promote your services to enrolled families. Now, you could write pages and pages about these ideas, but in this case, we recommend that you use a very simple format to create your value proposition. Specifically, we'd like you to answer three questions. One, where do you serve families and children? This could be in your neighborhood or in your city. Perhaps you reach a wider audience. Maybe it's across the country or a region. And the number two question, the second question rather, is what are the age groups that you serve? Do you serve infants or toddlers or older? Maybe preschoolers? What about school age children? Um, and is the what is it that parents and children and staff or those volunteers love most about your business? That's question number three. What is it that makes them come back? This might be your personality. Maybe it's a lot of times people will say that it's the family care provider or director of a small center that makes them come back. It could be maybe your location, proximity, or transportation issues are resolved for families, or maybe there are other reasons. We don't know. But these are the questions that you need to think about when you are developing your value proposition. Now, there's no good or bad answer to this. If you feel like you're not sure, don't hesitate to ask someone or even your parents. It never hurts to say that you are planning future improvements uh, for your program and the services that they're receiving, and you would like their feedback. Very simple. This could be a conversation at pickup or drop off when you say, "Hey, I'm working on how we can improve our services this year. And I'm just curious, what do you like most about having your child here? What does, and insert your child's name, what does the child like the most? Is there anything that you wish we would do better? And if you had your child at other centers or family child care programs, what do we do or don't do? What do we do well? What did they do better? Always good to get a thorough analysis and feedback from your families. Okay. So when you're running a group childcare center, you have two different options for gathering feedback. First, consider distributing anonymous surveys that are intentionally brief to encourage participation. Second, placing a comment box in an accessible location gives families and staff an ongoing way to share their thoughts. Now, both methods should focus on understanding program quality, communication effectiveness, and ideals for improvement. Now, for family childcare providers, the approach can be more personal. You could schedule brief, casual interviews with your families during convenient times like drop off or pickup, kind of like what we talked about earlier. And these conversations should feel natural while still gathering that specific insight about your program. Now, after these discussions, you do want to take time to document the key points that you've learned to inform future planning. Now, your stakeholders, which are the families, staff, and volunteers in your program, they form the foundation of your business success for several important reasons. They experience your services firsthand, which gives them valuable insight into what's working and what you could improve upon. So they're also investing their time, their trust, and resources in your program, making their perspective particularly valuable. Now, perhaps most importantly, satisfied families become your most effective marketers. Now, in the childcare field, We all know that word of mouth referrals and word of mouth are often your most powerful marketing tool. Parents naturally share their positive experiences with friends and families, neighbors who are seeking childcare. So, by actively seeking and responding to feedback, you strengthen these relationships and build trust within your community, which ultimately helps your business grow and thrive. Now, these next steps, or actually our next step, or step two, is taking a comprehensive look at your business performance and feedback and writing a basic list of what is working well versus what you may need to improve upon. Now, again, this doesn't have to be pages and pages. To perform this basic assessment, you'll need some data to rely on. Number one, your feedback from your families, your volunteers, staff. And number two, your business financials, including a monthly budget um, and a 12-month cash flow. Now, these tools will allow you to know what financial demands are there. And remember to be realistic on both for better planning. Now, we do recommend that you first look at the feedback that you got from your families, volunteer staff, and then review your financials and answer some simple questions, which we have there on the screen. The first is, what do families like most? What do they like least? Or what do staff like most and what do they like least? If you use volunteers, what do they like most and least? When you look at your financials, are you going to be profitable or are you going to make money by the end of the year? When looking at your enrollment forecast, are there any months where you are worried because student enrollment will be down? Or are you going to have several children aging out of your program? Answering these questions not only helps you to create a plan for the year, but you can also create talking points to use as you run your business throughout the year. So keep that in mind. And as you continue to assess your current situation, some additional questions that you may want to ask are, what is going to keep what is going to keep you profitable throughout the year? Do you need more children enrolled even mid-year? Looking ahead, how many slots will you need to fill? Will some children exist or exit for kindergarten? Do you have a growing waiting list? Now, if you're anticipating growth or are at your maximum enrollment capacity, do you want to consider an expansion or expanding? Also ask, what do parents want and need? And how will you adjust your program services to meet those needs? Are there ways that you can easily meet those needs? Perhaps a family wants hours that run a little bit longer or later, and you can shift your hours accordingly. Or maybe they want a certain service or opportunity. So think about that. Also ask, what about your staff? Do they report wanting additional pay? Maybe some added benefits? Are you having trouble finding quality staff? All of these are relevant. So these questions and are relevant for you to ask and reflect on the answers because that's going to help you to get to the next step in building your business plan. So once you've assessed your current situation, uh, you will want to perform an analysis of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. This is what we call a SWOT analysis. This is a simple yet very effective way to categorize your ideas. Through the SWOT analysis, you will Divide your data into those four quadrants that we mentioned earlier, whether a factor is positive or negative, and whether it's about the present or the future. Now, the strengths and weaknesses are the company's current positive and negative characteristics. The opportunities and threats are potential future factors that can either positively affect or negatively hinder impact and growth. Now, if you have employees, performing a SWOT analysis as a team will be most effective. If you are a family childcare provider without employees, you want to consider a conversation with maybe a friend or colleague that you trust who knows your business very well. Now, using a whiteboard or maybe even a large sheet of paper will allow your team to collect and visualize your ideas. So take the whiteboard or a big sheet of paper and divide it into four boxes, label it strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, kind of like what you see on the board. Now, the goal of this activity is to have a clear vision in each of these areas and to use this insight as you build your business plan. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to jot those down, and we will get to those as we get to the end of the presentation. Now, you're going to want to begin your analysis by engaging every member of your team in the process. Now, each person should write down several statements that reflect their perspective on your business strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Encourage your team to write each idea on a separate sheet of paper or sticky note, which can then be placed on the board or paper into these four categories. To help your team understand what belongs in each category, consider these examples from the child care for child care. Now, a strength statement might recognize that uh, our business is open for more hours than our competition. Now, that highlights that competitive advantage that you have. When examining your weaknesses, your team might identify that we have an issue with staff turnover. That acknowledges that internal challenges that needs to be addressed. Looking at opportunities, some might note that you have room for increased enrollment. And for threats, there may be a new business opening nearby. So after all your team members have posted their statements, gather as a group and discuss which observations are most significant for your business. Now, this collaborative discussion helps identify the truly impactful factors that deserve your attention. Now, the statements that your team agrees on are most relevant will provide valuable insight into your organization's current position and help you focus your efforts as you develop the next section of your business plan. Now, the last step in building out your plan, we're going to take step by step through this process, starting with reviewing the past year and then examining how this year may go. So, from this, you will find, oh goodness, there we go again. Let me go back. I apologize when my mouse wants to do things that I do not. All right. So, outside of starting your value proposition, here are the suggested components of your business plan. First, your customers, which are your families, understanding what you want to do to support them for the year. Second is your team, which is the staff and volunteers, and there you're understanding how you can attract and retain staff or volunteers to keep your program running. Three is your market. Those are the competitors or other external factors that may be impacting your goals. Four is your finances. Of course, a financial forecast helps you to know where you're headed financially during the year and what it will take to get there, such as what your level of enrollment needs to be. And then last is your SMART goal, which holds you accountable. Now, you will create some goals related to what your plan is, excuse me, and what you plan to undertake for the year. Remember to make your goals SMART, excuse me, and the SMART acronym is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. You also want your goals to be reasonable and pared down as tightly as possible. Excuse me, a little dry in here. All right. Now, the business plan template should include these six components and discuss in detail how each of these areas play a huge role in the business. The value proposition, like we mentioned, is your why. Uh, how does your why relate to the families? What role do your staff play in this? Is the market in your area or the area where you want to be is it in an area where you want to be successful? How so? What's your financial plan? How do you plan to sustain the operations over time? So your goals are going to tell the story of where you would like your childcare business to go and how you plan to achieve those goals. Now you are now ready to use the plan template to build your plan. So first you're going to develop your value proposition. Again, that's your why. And in this case, you're going to create a sentence that is going to talk about what that looks like. So here, um, the sentence would look something like, I or we serve children and families in whatever neighborhood or region you're in. And you are going to be specific about the ages of children. So you're starting at maybe your age 0 and go up to your limit. Maybe you're capped out at age 12. Uh, and what our families and children love most about us is, and then you're going to list at least three characteristics, uh, if you can, if you have that many. So this sentence is very simple, but it's not simplistic. And this will give you the ability to remember throughout the year why children and families choose you and love staying with your program. This is not only to help you remember your program's value, but again, it will help you reinforce why your program is special as you talk to potential customers and even as you talk to your staff and remind them of what you do. All right. So a successful childcare business will also have to be committed and have a plan in place to attract and retain customer base. So here is why you state what your or what you plan to do to support those families in the years ahead. That will allow you to sustain or even grow your business. Now, this should be informed by the feedback that you've collected about what families like and what you can improve upon. So, based on the feedback that we have collected, now this is just an idea of what you could say. Based on the feedback that we have collected, families are looking for these features. We are able to meet families' needs because we have these features. Which are located in a demand area and or have built a client base. So to further meet these needs, our families maintain or increase program enrollment, our plan is to add or enhance these features. And you can, of course, be specific to whatever it is that your business has identified through that feedback. Excuse me. Now, your team is also an integral part of your success. Therefore, a successful childcare business will also be committed to having a plan in place to attract and retain staff, even if they're volunteers. Now, this section is where you state what you plan to do to support your staff throughout the year and allow them to sustain or even grow within your business. Here, you're going to detail how you recruit, how you train, and how you retain quality staff members who share your vision. You're going to also describe how your staff will contribute to your program's mission and how you'll support their professional growth while maintaining high standards of care. Now, this should be informed by the feedback again that you've collected about what staff like and what you can improve upon. Now, if you don't have staff, you should think about how you support yourself and what commitments that you make to yourself every day that will help you to sustain your business in the long run. Now, a thorough understanding of your local market is another crucial element. This is where you will enter that SWOT analysis that we discussed earlier, clearly noting your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and those threats. Will allow you to plan with intention. Now, you will also want to examine whether your chosen location can support your business model. Study the demographics, the competition, and the community needs in your area. Explain how these factors contribute to your potential for success and how you'll position your program within this market. On to your financial plan. Your financial plan must outline clear strategies for long term sustainability. Now, this includes your annual budget and 12 months of cash flow analysis, including the detailed projection for revenue and expenses, pricing strategies, and a plan for managing your cash flow. Describe how you will maintain financial stability while delivering that quality care and meeting your operational goals. You also want to keep an eye on this throughout the year. Make sure that your predictions are staying on target. Now, if they are not, ensure that you understand why and adjust them accordingly. Now, your financial forecast should include any anticipated increase in enrollment or revenue. It should also reflect your staffing levels, compensation, both for yourself and others, if applicable, and benefits that you have or anticipate to have. On to our goals. Now, your goals tell the story of your program's future and is the final section of the business plan. This section states what exactly you intend to do to improve or expand your business based on the information that you've gathered and assessed and by what specific date. Now, it uh, basically gives life to your plan. It makes it real and it lets you know specifically what you'll need to do. Excuse me. Now, here you will outline specific measurable objectives for where you want your childcare business to go and create a clear action plan for achieving them. Include both your short term milestones and your long term aspirations, along with concrete steps for reaching these targets. Now, you could choose to follow your SMART goal format or another simple tool, the three element format, which is the what, the how, and the how you're going to know that it worked. Now, both are simple formats that will keep you on track and accountable to get things done. Now, remember that these components are interconnected. Each one supports and strengthens the other in creating a sustainable, high quality childcare program. Now, we have referenced SMART goals a few times already, but let's dive a little deeper into what it really means. When establishing goals for your childcare business, you must address three fundamental questions that will guide your success. First, you want to clearly define what you want to accomplish with your program. Second, you're going to develop a detailed strategy for how you will achieve those objectives. And third, you want to determine specific methods to measure and evaluate your progress towards these goals. So, when we talk about the SMART framework, you can see that SMART stands for specific. So your goal clearly states exactly what you want to accomplish. That measurable is where you can track and quantify your progress. The actionable is where you have the power and the resources to actually achieve the goal. Reasonable, meaning that the goal challenge or it challenges you while you're remaining attainable. And then, of course, the time limit is where you set that clear deadline for achieving the goal. Now, here's an example. Rather than setting a vague goal like, I want to improve enrollment, a SMART goal would state the following: increase enrollment by 6 months. I'm sorry, let's start again. Increase enrollment by six children within the next 3 months by implementing a parent referral program and hosting two community open houses. So, by incorporating all of these elements into your goal setting process, you significantly increase the likelihood of success. And this is a structured approach that helps transform your aspirations into concrete achievements for your childcare business. Now, we can use all the information that we've gathered to now start building our plan. So, utilization of all of this information is critical in the overall function of your business. From this, you are now able to make those better choices, iron out any kinks that you may run into, avoid mistakes, improve visibility, and provide you with the guide that you need to successfully grow your childcare business. All right. So on the board, you have an example. We want to introduce uh, the introduction and the value proposition. We've gone over this a little bit, but just kind of giving you a visual of that. Your introduction identifies the specific communities that you serve, the age groups. This section also highlights those unique characteristics that make your program special for the children and their families. We talked about that family. So here's an example of what you would talk about with the families. Based on your collected feedback, this section is going to outline what your families are seeking in your childcare services. It also describes how your program currently meets these needs and presents your plan for program enhancements that will maintain or increase enrollment. So this is just an example of what you could that section for your families would look like. Same for staff. Uh, Example here on the screen. This component examines what your staff value most in their work environment. It describes your current strategies for meeting staff needs, and it outlines specific plans for staff retention and recruitment that align with your enrollment goals. Now, our market analysis, again, your SWOT analysis is going to provide that clear picture of your business's current position. This structure will evaluate and examine your internal strengths and weaknesses alongside of your external opportunities and threats. for the financial plan. This section is just simply going to present that annual budget, the 12-month cash flow analysis, and these documents are going to provide a comprehensive view of your business's financial health and projected operation. So basically, we broke it down and now we're bringing it all back together. And then the goals, your SMART goals are going to outline those specific targets for business improvement and growth. Each goal follows that SMART framework, like I said, to be specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and time limited or time bound, whichever you prefer to say. And when you're using this information, it is important to the overall function of your business, and it basically serves as your operational guide, which will help you make those informed decisions. It will improve your visibility and maintain sustainable growth for your childcare business. All right, we have reached the portion where we are going to go back to the main breakout room so that we can address questions together. But I do want to thank you for your attention today. And we will go ahead and stop this share. So looks like Carmen has a question. Carmen,
Ya,
it's all you.
eh, muy buenas tardes a todas. Revisando el esquema que nos presentaron, eh, ¿podría buscar una oportunidad interna, como pensando en mi negocio de cuidado infantil? No sé si hay traductor por ahí para que me ayuden. Eh, las oportunidades podrían ser también oportunidades internas, porque lo visualizaban, las debilidades son internas, ¿cierto? Las, pero podría buscar una oportunidad dentro del espacio educativo, como ejemplo, que eh, una oportunidad para mí podría ser que tengo todas las clases de cuidado infantil, por ejemplo. Entonces, ¿cuál sería la oportunidad para mi daycare o para los niños que yo trabajo? Que puedo entregar educación de calidad. ¿Lo podría presentar como oportunidad
Ok,
o, o tienen que ser solo externas? Esa era mi pregunta. Gracias.
claro que sí, Carmen. Permíteme un momentito, solo estoy tomando nota de lo que dijiste para poderla traducir, ¿ok? Okay, so Carmen wants to know, Marlene, if an opportunity could be internal. So in her case, she has enrolled kids of all ages. So could providing a quality care, could that be an internal opportunity for her
Is,
business? Or if
is she
all,
referring to
or
like,
if all I'm sorry, if all opportunities have to be external.
for the SWOT analysis? Is that what she's referring to?
Te refieres al análisis FODA, ¿verdad, Carmen?
Sí,
Yes, that is correct, Marlene.
Okay. I am going to go back to that chart because it's going to be helpful to see that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's see. Wait, is that the one that shows the internal? Okay. All right. I thought there was another one that we had that showed we have positive present, future, um uh, and she was asking if her opportunities can be internal. And I'm trying to go back to the one that had the visual for internal. I thought that we
Slide
had one.
11? Were you
Is
on
it?
slide 11 just now? Sorry.
Yeah, I was on slide 10 and 11. Okay. All right. So your opportunities can be whatever they are for, like if you need that opportunity to be internal, then I don't see the issue with that being there.
Ujú.
Um, here you have we have room for increased enrollment. So that is not present, that's future. If you had an example that was present, like what's her situation? And
Car-
I want to be
Car-
able to apply it to her situation.
Carmen, ¿cuál es tu situación? ¿Qué es lo que estás pensando específicamente para que tratemos de aplicar esta oportunidad directamente a tu situación?
Mira, yo estaba analizando mi FODA.
Ujú,
Entonces, dentro de las oportunidades, no sabía qué ver como oportunidad. Si organismo externo o también podía visualizar lo interno, que lo siento que es como oportunidad, porque las fortalezas las tengo claras,
ujú,
las debilidades también las tengo claras, pero
sí.
en las oportunidades creo que van un poquito más desde el exterior hacia el interior del negocio y las amenazas también van como de afuera hacia adentro. En mi caso, absolutamente, no digo que sea para todos. Entonces, yo veía esta oportunidad de poder entregar aprendizaje oportuno, pertinente y de acuerdo a la etapa del desarrollo de los niños, como una oportunidad del negocio hacia la familia, como para hacerme difusión. En ese
Pero esa
ámbito lo
podría
estaba
ser más
pensando.
una, perdón, Carmen, que te
¿Mm?
interrumpa, esa podría
Sí,
ser más una
sí,
fortaleza que tú tienes.
sí, pero quería ver cómo podía presentar dentro de las oportunidades internas o solo son externas. Ese era como el contexto de mi pregunta. Si las oportunidades las tengo que ver fuera del negocio o también servían las de adentro.
Okay, Marlene, what she is wondering if opportunities, if you can only see opportunities external to your business or if they could be internal.
They can be both.
Puede
They
ser
can be
ambas,
both.
puede ser ambas, Carmen.
Opportunity for expansion would be external.
Ujú.
An opportunity for reducing staff turnover would be internal.
Okay. Una
So you can
oportunidad.
have an opportunity both inside and outside of your organization.
Ok, una oportunidad externa podría ser expandir tu negocio, Carmen, y una oportunidad interna podría ser lo que tú vas a hacer para reducir la rotación de personal.
Ah, perfecto.
Ok,
Me queda muy claro. Muchas gracias.
ok, claro que sí.
De nada. Any other questions? Let me get back to my question screen.
We don't have anything in the chat.
Pueden también poner su pregunta en el chat si gustan.
All right. Well, I hope this was valuable for you all. I'm sorry, Annie, were you getting ready to say something?
Yes, I
It does
see.
look like we
Oh,
have a question now.
yeah, I can see. Thank you.
Marilyn?
Yo ya tengo mi programa de cuidado en casa, pero mi plan es hacer un programa terapéutico. Estoy certificada para trabajar con niños en el espectro y con trastornos en el neurodesarrollo, pero ¿qué tantas oportunidades hay para negocios como el mío para poder brincar a ese nivel y hacerlo más terapéutico?
Okay. So Marlene, her question is, so she has a home daycare and
Hmm?
she has education on special needs, mostly
Mhm.
on the spectrum.
Mhm.
So she is wondering if that would be an opportunity for her business to start, I mean, to focus more her business toward that area. She's asking if that
Well,
she would have to
the
see.
question,
Yeah,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
The question for her would be, where does she see her business? What does she want to happen? Because those questions that we posed in there are really going to guide her to determining whether or not that's going to be an opportunity for her. What is it that you want to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
If you have the children in care that you want to care for, and everything is going as planned, then there may not be an opportunity there. But if you want to maybe bring in some additional services for those children, and make sure that you have on-site opportunities for additional resources or something like that. So really the question is, what is it that she aspires to have happening within her program? And that's where the opportunity in there lies. It really is based on what they see. Is that an opportunity for improving things, or is it just something that this is where we are, and this is what we do? You know, that's where the questions are so important. Going through those series of questions and asking, um, you know, doing the assessment. Where are we? Where do we want to be? I'm not sure if I'm addressing her question, but
Thank you, Marlene. Okay.
okay.
Marlene, lo que dice Marlene es que tú lo que tienes que pensar es a dónde quieres ir con tu negocio, ¿ya? ¿Qué es lo que quieres alcanzar? Tal vez tú ya tienes niños en el espectro, en tu cuidado, o si quieres tal vez traer nuevos servicios a tu negocio, ¿qué es lo que tú aspiras? ¿Ya? Y es ahí donde tú vas a encontrar esas oportunidades. Marlene lo que dice es que pienses si es una oportunidad para mejorar o te sientes bien ahí en lo que estás haciendo en este momento.
En mi caso sí trabajo en mayoría con niños en el espectro
Ujú.
y pues siento que necesito algo más. Por ejemplo, en el material, en los juguetes, son totalmente diferentes los que necesitaría para poner un programa más terapéutico.
Ok.
Entonces, ese es el donde entra como que la barrera porque no tengo yo el dinero suficiente. La otra, me pienso que si hay alguna agencia o algo que respalde el pago para trabajar con esos niños, mucho mejor que lo que nos paga ahorita el Estado, pues sería algo bueno también. Porque realmente hacemos doble trabajo con ellos y
Ujú.
nomás se nos está pagando, como quien dice, el cuidado. El cuidado de los niños no se nos paga por ayudarlos en su neurodesarrollo, ayudarlos en estimulación, con sus problemas de comportamiento.
Ujú.
Entonces, es donde cambia un poquito el servicio que les doy a los niños.
Sí,
Y acá
Merlín,
nada más
tú lo
gano
que
por el
preguntas
cuidado.
entonces es si nosotros conocemos tal vez de alguna agencia en la que tú pudieras trabajar
Sí, que me
con
pudieran
niños con estas
asesorar. Ujú.
necesidades, no en tu negocio de cuidado infantil, ¿correcto?
Sí, correcto.
Okay, so Marlene, she says that she is currently working with children on the spectrum. Obviously,
Right.
their needs are different. The materials that they need are different. And she obviously does not have enough funds because she's getting paid to care for these children, but not to provide the needs that these children need. So she is wondering if we know of an agency that works with these children, and maybe someone else in the group knows of anybody. I'm sorry, an agency that works with these children, where she could go and work.
Mm. That's a really good question. And without me knowing the area well, I would not be able to chime in on that as much. But I would say check with the local state, the Child Care Resource and Referral Agency within the area. May also have some good resource information for her. Um, and licensing is always a very good resource as well, no matter where you are. So the state licensing regulations, Child Care Resource and Referral Agency, and even sometimes the local public school district could provide some of that information, or the Department of Education.
Ok, Merlin. Dice Marlene que lamentablemente nosotros pues desconocemos eh, el área, entonces no tenemos información específica de de alguna agencia que se dedique a esto, pero que busques información en las agencias locales de tu estado, incluso en la agencia que te proveyó tu licencia. Ellos tal vez te pueden dirigir mejor en esto. Las escuelas públicas, el distrito de escuelas públicas en tu área o el departamento de educación. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, I think that does it for us for this evening. Looks like we are going to wrap things up for the night. We really do thank you for your time and your attention. We are very happy that you're dedicated to the work and willing to invest in your business growth. That's very commendable. And we also want to share with you that if you would like more information, you can reach out to us by utilizing the information you see on the screen. There's a wealth of information there, lots of resources. They are available in both English and Spanish. And I will pause and allow you to share that information, Vanessa.
Thank you, Marlene. Sí, visitando la página de crecernuevomexico.org, ahí pueden encontrar información de contacto, pueden inscribirse en sesiones de asesoramiento, también recursos de SSD para mejorar su negocio, y toda la información está disponible tanto en inglés como en español.
Okay. And of course, feel free to visit us on the Tom Copeland blog. If you did not get your question answered this evening, there are over 1,500 helpful resources there. You can scan the QR code on the slide. If there are questions that you can't find your answers to, feel free to reach out to the Ask the Experts portal, where you can get your question answered there.
Y si no tuvimos la oportunidad de responder a sus preguntas, o si hoy en la noche se despiertan y dicen, ay, ¿cómo no pregunté esto? Pueden visitar el blog, perdón, de Tom Copeland, donde van a encontrar más de 1,500 recursos. Hemos puesto un código QR que los va a llevar al blog en la diapositiva. Y si no encuentran su respuesta entre los muchos recursos, pueden utilizar también, hay una sección que dice Pregunta al experto, en donde van a poder hacer cualquier pregunta que todavía puedan tener.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Also, we want to put a plug in for our YouTube channel. And also there's many, many great videos, over 600, both in English and in Spanish. And we do invite you to scan that QR code so that you can see the links there. And we look forward to seeing you at another wonderful event with Civitas Strategies.
Y no dejen también de visitar nuestro canal de YouTube, en donde tenemos más de 600 videos, tanto en inglés como en español, que van a poder, son muchísimos recursos valiosos que van a poder ayudarles tanto a ustedes como a su empresa. Y esperamos verlos nuevamente en alguna otra presentación de Civitas Strategies.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We are going to put a link in the chat, I believe, for the email for Tom Copeland blog. If you would like to join our email list and learn more about our team at Civitas Strategies, you can simply go to www.civstrat.com. And Vanessa will give you that, and we will drop that link. Annie, are you able to drop that link in the chat for us? And Vanessa, if you would go ahead and
Yes, thank you, Marlene.
share that information.
Annie está poniendo la página web de Tom Copeland, en donde van a poder agregarse a la lista de emails para que puedan obtener información. Y también, si gustan contactarnos, aquí está nuestra página web www.civstrat.com.